Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you guys. Welcome to a brand new week, a new edition of the Full 100. Today is Monday, the 1st of February, brand new month, and today's show, guys, is a continuation of where we left off on Friday regarding depopulation. You saw the clip I just started the show with. I hope you paid attention to the bottom of that clip, of that newspaper clipping, where it tells you the far right and anti-vax campaigners are blocking access to a stadium in a predominantly brown and black area where the stadium is. This one place was set up so many of the immigrant and ethnic minority communities can access the vaccine on that particular day. However, the far right and the anti-vaxxers have come out to help that community not gain access to the vaccine. So today's question, my friends, is why are the far right all of a sudden so concerned with our health and well-being? After this show, if you've got an answer to that makes sense, please feel free to contact me. I'll be happy to listen. But right now, guys, we're going to get down and try getting to the bottom of it. So without further ado, guys, let's get to it. Now, as you see, I started with that clip. However, this is an issue that we must all pay attention to, because it makes no sense, right? When Hitler was trying to eliminate the Jews and didn't want the Jews anywhere in Europe, basically, it wouldn't make sense if Corona had started in that time, right? When that war was going on. It wouldn't make sense that Hitler would definitely be trying to tell the Jews not to take the vaccine because it might kill them. That wouldn't make sense to me. Neither does it make sense that far-right groups whose sole reason for existing is to get rid of people like me, now all of a sudden there's a pandemic and they care about me now? That also doesn't make sense. Finally, it doesn't make sense why a government run by a white, racist, nationalist, supremacist in the name of Donald Trump, why he will be producing vaccines with his left hand, but paying far-right groups, anti-vax groups, to target predominantly ethnic groups, black groups, brown groups, as well as Orthodox Jewish groups. Because if you saw the video on Friday, we looked into those, and I'm going to mention a couple of those characters today on today's show. But they're all far right. They're all anti-vax. They all follow every kind of conspiracy going. I'm going to reel out a few of these people. So my question remains, I'm confused. And anyone who can help me, please help me. Because, we're not conspiracy theorists. However, we know how to do maths. If you show me one and you show me another one, I can tell you that's 2. If you show me 10 and show me a 5 over there, I'll tell you that's 15. Because that's the facts I'm looking at. It's not a conspiracy that I arrived at 15. Because you showed me 10 and you showed me 5. Right now, from what I'm seeing, we've had it all wrong. But the thing is, the authorities are now waking up to this. So my first clip is an 18-second clip recorded this weekend. What I've noticed since Friday, over the weekend, is that the authorities are now paying attention and actually calling this a targeted attack. That's what they're calling it. A targeted attack on minority communities. That's what I said on Friday. That's what dawned on me on Wednesday of last week when I had the epiphany, because nothing was adding up. But I now see this as a targeted attack. But I'm going to tell you one more thing. We're under attack. We're under a 2-pronged attack, guys. We're under, the black community is under a 2-pronged attack. We're being attacked by those who don't want us to take the vaccine, so many of us more can die. And we're being attacked by the system has racism inbuilt anyway. So those are the two-pronged attacks we're under right now. So guys, take a look at my first clip and I'll see you on the other side. This is the British perspective acknowledging this situation. Take a look.
Well, I want to start with the issue that many of the black and minority ethnic community in London have been reluctant to take up the offer of a COVID-19 jab. The BAME community, the sector of society most susceptible to COVID, has been targeted by anti-vaxxers peddling misinformation about the vaccine.
Welcome back, guys. I can hear many people thinking, how can they target us? Because many of you think this is your own resistance. I get it. Because there was some resistance there before. But it's not normal. I was on a platform the other day with 76 people. It's not normal for 76 people. I was the only one who was talking different to 76 other people. It's not normal for 76 people to think the same way. It isn't. There wasn't diversity of thoughts. There wasn't, oh, I'm going to wait 12 months, I'm just going to wait and see. There wasn't, oh, this is the one I want to take, but I'm not sure. There wasn't diversity of thought. Everybody was aggressively on the mission. People was talking about mobilizing. Mobilizing for what? When no one's told you have to take this thing. But mobilize is what the anti-vax and the far right have done. They've mobilized against us. So what I'm going to do now, guys, take a look. This is a very, very good example of how just one person, never mind the organization that's getting millions, one guy in his house can target 5,000 people and get them to do different. Take a look at this video and understand how deep this thing can go.
So the FBI moving this week to arrest an alt-right Twitter troll accusing him of using social media to spread disinformation in the 2016 presidential election.
An anonymous pro-Trump Twitter troll unmasked, charged for interference in the 2016 presidential election.
This was an attack on our democracy, and you could look at him as almost like a field commander in this longstanding assault on our democracy.
Federal prosecutors say Douglas Mackey, who used the online alias Ricky Vaughn, was arrested Wednesday in West Palm Beach, Florida. Luke O'Brien, a reporter from the Huffington Post, helped unmask Mackey in 2018.
He graduated from college in 2011, and then he moved to New York and he took a job in the financial industry. At some point, he was working for an economic consulting firm. He was fired from his job, and then he reinvented himself as one of the worst white nationalist trolls on Twitter during the 2016 election.
According to charging documents, Mackey is accused of conspiring to suppress votes and using social media to spread disinformation, telling African-American voters they could vote for Hillary Clinton by text. That same tweet, specifically referenced during a 2017 Senate Judiciary Subcommittee hearing.
Some of the ads has been discussed contained misinformation, telling voters that they could vote online, which of course wasn't true. In fact, here's one of them, targeted, of course, telling people that they could just text Hillary to that number, and that's how they vote. I just want people to understand what this is. Efforts like this are actually criminal. They're illegal.
A similar tweet targeted Hispanic voters.
It's the kind of thing where, particularly in a tight race, it can make a difference if it reaches enough people.
Prosecutors say nearly 5,000 people responded to the fraudulent text code allegedly distributed by Mackey.
If you conclude that all of those were people who were trying to vote and people who didn't actually go and vote in person, that's 4,900 votes that have just been suppressed.
Mackey's alleged co-conspirators are not named in the complaint, but Twitter data shared by authorities suggests at least one of the apparent co-conspirators has been charged for their involvement in the January 6th insurrection.
You can draw a through line from that to what happened, and you had a lot of these people, Trump supporters, who had been sucking down propaganda and disinformation for years.
Welcome back, guys. So if that one person, just one person, can target a whole community of black people. Remember, he targeted two communities. He targeted the black community and he targeted the Hispanic community. 5,000, nearly 4,900 people listened to that text because it looks real. Hillary lost out of 4,000, nearly 5,000 votes. Just election just gone, there was districts where they won by less than 1,100, less than 1,000 in some cases. Now that guy is a far right guy. That's where he came from. He's off that same school. You know, if he can get 5,000 people on his own to not vote for Hillary, imagine what he's been doing this whole time. They only caught up with him now from the 2016, his escapades in 2016. But can you see the link? That's another reason I showed that video. Can you see the link between 2016 and a guy who suppressed votes to the insurrection that we saw at the Capitol? One of his buddies was there. All of these people, my guys, are intertwined. They're all intertwined. They all got the same agenda, my friends. Let's go to another video, because what this show's about, I told you guys Friday, I'm going to keep doing these shows until I've got the full percentage proof, and I'm getting there. Now, the next video I'm going to show you guys is the view from the UK, right? I'm going to show you guys the view from the UK and the view from the US. Now, the view from the UK, understand something. Discrimination, like I said to you guys from the very beginning, they're going to discriminate with this thing. Many of you were there being stubborn. I'm not going to take it. They can't make me take it. Bros, they were going to discriminate. This is no different to a new sports car or some new technology that has come out. The rich are going to get it first. Those who got influence are going to get it first. And then those who don't are at the back of the queue. This is no different. So take a look at this video from the UK's perspective. And then we're going to go to show you how, this is now how, my next video will show you how that racism, the two-pronged attack. So with the first pronged attack is those who want us gone are targeting us not to take the vaccine. And then the second pronged attack is what we experience every day, racism. So we're under attack. Even those who want the vaccine can't get it due to discrimination. And then the rest are being fooled or being manipulated or are under attack by people who want them dead and gone. Take a look at this next video.
We're disproportionately dying as a result of COVID-19. And I think it's quite important to get the message across that some of the anti-vax messages that people are seeing on social media is deliberately nefarious, aimed at driving down, in fact, that take-up. And for all of the reasons that have been said, it is safe to take the vaccine.
Yeah, and we've seen the Observer reporting today that anti-vaxxers may be making money by spreading misinformation like this on Facebook. David, do you think the government should be taking a stand against social media giants which are being used to disseminate this nonsense?
Parliament should be acting to do more in relation to the anti-vaxxers. It's in all of our interests. Ethnic minorities represent 14% of the national population and almost half the percent here in London. So look, this is a huge problem for all of us if people do not have the confidence to take the vaccination and remain hesitant.
So, for instance, in my local hospital trust, there were a lot of female nurses concerned about some of the things they'd seen online about fertility, and that, Jonathan Bantam has gone very strongly to make clear that there are no concerns about the vaccine and fertility. So I think we need to just keep seeing that leadership from the front, the messaging, not just on local level, but also on a national level to reassure people. And it's important to say also that the vaccine will not be forced on you. It's your choice if you want to take the vaccine.
I'm just going to quickly read through a couple of these characters, yeah? You remember Joseph Mercola, the one who got the most money, who I mentioned on Friday's video, the part 1 to this. Listen to what it says about this guy, right? It says, Mercola is viewed by many as an anti-vaccine propagandist. As of 2019, he has donated at least $4 million to anti-vaccine groups through his Natural Health Research Foundation, including more than 2.9 million to anti-vaccination group, the National Vaccine Information Center. That's the same people that Trump gave money to, that the guy called Disinformation Center, amounting to 40% of that. So this one guy funds 40% of National Vaccine Information Center. He co-founded an anti-vaccination ad in Times Square. And he also set up a website. In 2020, Mercola was one of the partners in a website called Stop COVID Code, offering advice to the public on preventing and treating COVID-19 with alternative remedies. The website includes links to his online store, and puts a strong emphasis on vitamin D supplements, despite a lack of scientific evidence pointing to the effectiveness of such treatment. He also claimed that if you take between 0.5 to 3% of hydrogen peroxide solution through a nebulizer, that it could prevent COVID-19. These are things that he just thought up so he could sell his products. These are the sort of people Trump gave money to. Then we're going to go to one other character, Sherry Tenpenny. Sherry Tenpenny is an American osteopathic physician and anti-vaccination activist who supports the discredited hypothesis that vaccines cause autism, right? She has no advanced clinical or research specialization in immunology, vaccinology, or public health. Nor has she ever published a peer-reviewed, that means scientific group, peer-reviewed research in any area related to vaccines or immunology. So these people are not even experts in the field that they want to be going over to Australia. This is why she got banned. She got barred from going to Australia. You know, like, these are the people, guys, who are behind the information that's coming into our neighborhoods. Let me crack on to the next video now, guys. Now, this is where racism, if you think racism isn't happening, they're just not reporting it big time here yet. Because they got the cover to hide behind. You know what that cover is? That cover is vaccine hesitancy. Oh, well, the numbers are low because, you know, they're vaccine hesitancy. But we're talking about those who actually want it. Forget about those who don't want it. Those who want it are being discriminated against, guys. Take a look at this video.
Yeah, and that's the question. There seems to be a big discrepancy here between, the access to the vaccine. A CNN analysis of data from 14 states found vaccine coverage is twice as high among white people on average than it is among black and Latino people. So we know from surveys that those groups are less likely to want to get the shot, but is there that other issue that some people, they do want to get them, but they can't get them, that there is the problems there with access?
Yes, you're absolutely right. There are people now who want to get the vaccine, but they can't get them. We're still in the phase where we are ensuring that we have all healthcare workers, nursing home individuals who live in nursing homes, and now for Los Angeles County, those who are over 65. And so that is primarily the main group that now we're facing more access issues with.
Now, do you see what I mean? I just want to touch on something on the last video, the one with the UK view, where the lady was talking about her nurses. Many of the people she knows in the black community are worried about fertility because they've also sent that kind of fake news. I mean, this is something that they know what worries the black communities. They know. And they're just working on that and producing stuff, right? Guys, listen, there's great news on the horizon in my last video. But before I touch on that, how many of you who saw the last video on Friday shared it? I'll leave that question hanging. And I'm going to ask that question of this video at the end of this too. But listen, guys, there's great news on the horizon. And I call this great news because if you truly are skeptical about vaccines, then you must be looking to black countries, right? Who have tested it on black nations and black population and ain't trying to get rid of their own kind, yeah? So the great news is India has produced a vaccine that they're already going to start exporting shortly. But Nigeria is the first black nation to produce a vaccine. Theirs will be ready for commercial exporting in about 18 months' time. Obviously, they got to vaccinate their population first. So take a look at this encouraging video. And what I will say to many of you is stop having what they call bottomless skepticism. There's skepticism and there's bottomless skepticism. Bottomless skepticism is when you're like that. I don't want to know, I don't want to know, I don't want to know. Open your ears because this thing ain't over. We're just at the beginning of it. Jamaica might produce a vaccine. Cuba, you know, these countries are now grown up enough. Like I've been saying, as a collective, as black people, we're grown up enough to do these things. We don't have to rely on the white countries to do this, right? But take a look at this video and I'll see you guys on the other side to say my goodbyes.
It's been less than 2 weeks since India launched what it hopes will be the largest vaccination drive in the world as it goes about inoculating its own citizens. India has also developed its own vaccine by Bharat Biotech, which it eventually plans to export.
A team of Nigerian scientists has announced the discovery of a preventive vaccine against the novel coronavirus. According to the COVID-19 research group, the vaccine is real and has been validated several times. Though targeted at Africans, the scientists say it will also work for other races. The vaccine is expected to be mobilized for widespread use in at least 18 months.
Welcome back, guys. I really hope this show's been helpful. I'm going to do more of them. But more importantly, guys, open your ears. Understand that your enemies can't be your enemy today or Monday to Thursday, and they want to pretend that they care about you. Let's wake up. Guys, share this video. Do not watch this and not share it to at least one person who might share it to another one person. In the meantime, look after yourselves. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all on Wednesday for another fantastic show. Take care. All the best.